Katie, this is the last video, I promise.
We're here. We're here for it.
We're doing it. So I wanted to spend 5 minutes. This is a brand new bounty that we're doing. We've done three relays before this. This is our fourth. We decided to experiment and try something out completely different. We have previously been asking for companies. Now we are asking for research programs. Katie, could you talk a little bit about A, the history of this, and then B, what your hopes are? Like, what do you want to see at the end of these 15 days that these researchers kind of provide at the end of it?
Yeah. So where did this come from? Zach and I kind of came to consensus into the blockchain space about 18 months ago. I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we were novices in the space. We've learned a ton. We've worked with companies, big and small, and everyone under the sun, you know, on everything from literally identity to space in the last 18 months. And of course, we've developed our Relays program to incentivize, as you said, creation of businesses around areas that we thought were ripe for disruption by blockchain. And to date, that has included finance, media, and healthcare. And of course, we have a couple others up our sleeve. We're interested in things like education, future work. You know, there's a couple other ones that we've identified as areas that we're interested in. That having been said, I think what has kind of surfaced for me and for us is that we are not, you know, at least, sorry, in the relays that we've run so far, we've met a ton of people who are actually in positions in their lives and they've experienced, you know, experiences that that are not great, like they are unbanked, or they cannot get a bank account, or they cannot get a student loan, or they cannot, you know, easily move money across international borders or whatever. And to me, these are problems that I personally don't, and I don't think you do either, Zach, struggle with on a daily basis here in the United States, here in Colorado. And we're very fortunate to not have to worry about that, you know, in some cases. In other cases, we have a largely centralized system that's, you know, is subject to things like the Equifax hack. So so it's kind of six of one, half dozen of another, I guess. But largely, we are not our users here. And so what we wanted to do was open it up a little bit. Because so instead of just us posting bounties about things that we think are compelling for blockchain, we wanted to hear from you. So are there things in your life that, or your family's lives or friends' lives or people you know, that would be made radically better by Web3 technology or blockchain? Some of the core competencies are things that it does well. We know that the technology is really great at adding things like transparency to a process and bringing immutability and permanence to an experience, because people can't go in and tamper with it. We know that the decentralized nature of the software, of the technology, makes it so that no one party can gain too much power and abuse that power. And the disintermediation of it is similar. And so we know that this technology is powerful, and we want to hear from you where it could be best applied. So we came up with this new challenge, which is basically asking you to tell us what use cases are out there for blockchain to upend in the next, let's say, 12 months. So if it's a use case that's going to take 5 years to upend, you're welcome to share that with us, but we're very interested in use cases that could be upended tomorrow, relatively speaking, in our world. So a year, maybe 2 years. Yeah, that's where this came from.
Nice. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think our relays leading up to this were very much based around the types of companies that people want to make. And I think that those companies were directly, I love the teams that came out of the previous relays. I think that there's some real winners there, but I think it becomes very apparent that the quality and the types of the products that are being built are directly proportionate to the quality of research being done in the field. And I think that there's a ton of research that is already being done by the crypto curious about decentralized or open finance. There is a decent amount around media and the problems therein. There honestly isn't a ton of research being done in the entire world about the specific use cases that are ready to be disrupted by crypto. And I think that this is a way for us to incentivize not just the building of products willy-nilly, but the careful consideration of how these technologies can be brought to bear on different problems in different states in the United States, in different countries in the world. I think that we are only going to see value created in the blockchain space when we consider the specific use cases, like the specific niches that everyone kind of exists in, the context that everybody lives in. And so that's essentially what I would love to get out of this. I would love to hear from you, Katie. You were kind of like the research specialist of the two of us, and I've been more on the product side. If I was going to, like, if you're just going to close your eyes and imagine the day after the Road to DEF CON hackathon, what does the winning entries look like in your head? Like how are they presented? What data is there, et cetera?
Yeah, so winning entries are going to use boots on the ground. So one of the greatest things about this is that you guys are where your use cases are, right? So, and we might not be. And so what we want to see is artifacts, whether that be artifacts you create, like the ones we've talked about in our kind of series that we've launched to go hand in hand with this. So that might be journey maps, stakeholder maps, user use case diagrams, research of any kind. It also might be photographs, video recordings of how terrible an experience is right now in terms of moving money across a border, right? Or a screen cap even. I think the more documentation you can provide to us about what's broken about the current experience and why you think blockchain is well positioned, even if you're not really sure, even if you don't know anything about blockchain, just that it offers these kind of value adds that we talked about, like transparency, immutability, et cetera. Show us what's broken, what the inverse of those things are. So where are things corrupt? Where are things opaque? Where are things getting screwed around with by people that have too much power? And bring as much data to bear, whether that be, again, like actual physical artifacts that you've created, summary documents, insights, testimonials, interviews, whatever. I would love to basically see what's broken so that I can write a bounty for the next relay so that we can fix it. And that's the prize, basically. Like our hope is to pay out a cash prize or an ETH prize to, several winning teams. We're thinking between 3 and 5 teams that would win this kind of thing. So it's not meant to be really that competitive among the teams. It's more about, like, can you prove to us that your use case is compelling? But also, if you are able to prove to us that your use case is incredibly compelling, I'd like to make it the topic of our next relay, such that we can get hackers of all kinds from all over the world, some of the most brilliant minds in this space, to solve that problem for you.
I love that. I have nothing to add. I think that's a great summary of what we're looking for. Everyone, I think, so in order to, put a pin on this, or put a bow on this, essentially, we're going to basically put together the 4 videos that we've got. We have a ton of links that will both be linked in the show notes, as well as kind of a master doc, where you get essentially all the resources that you need to complete each of these steps to create them. And then, not sure about Katie, but I will be on Discord for the Road to DEF CON. So please reach out to me there. I'm also on Twitter. Both of us are on Twitter. It's going to be, I'll put our tags there so you can DM us there. But essentially, we're going to be here as an open resource to advise as you construct these research plans. And we are going to also be the person that, essentially, if you get stuck, if you get blocked, we can be the person that offers some sort of advice or some sort of resource or just kind of light assistance to kind of move you along, because this, I think, is going to be a really interesting experiment. I'm really excited to see what everybody does. So
yeah, please help us help make blockchain useful.
Exactly.
That's what we want. So
that's the hashtag I'm going to start using. Hashtag make blockchain useful.
Yeah, because you guys have problems and experiences and situations that the technology could actually assist and make an impact. And that's why we're here. That's why we got into this field. So help us target those opportunities and make them 10 or 100 times better for you, for your loved ones, for people that you know who are in those situations now. So yeah, we look forward to your entries.
Thank you so much, Katie, for sitting down and talking. Thank you, everyone else, for sitting down and listening. This was a haul. And thanks, everyone. Good luck for the road to DevCon. Cannot wait to see the entries.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.